Have you ever really thought about what happens to an action after you've done it? I mean, does a good deed just vanish? Does a lie just evaporate into thin air? Well, today we're going to jump into the mind of an incredible 11th century Persian philosopher who had a wild idea that our actions have a life of their own, and they echo long, long after we're gone. So let's just start with a question that I think we all wrestle with, right? What actually makes a good deed good? Is it that you meant well, or is it all about the final outcome? It feels like a super modern problem, but our guide for today, Nasser Khosrow, came up with a powerful way to think about this almost 1,000 years ago. All right, so let's meet the man himself, Nasser Khosrow. He was a Persian poet, a brilliant philosopher, and a world traveler. And for him, to get a handle on our moral impact, he starts super simple. He says, look, all human actions fall into just two buckets, what he calls reward and sin. Now that might sound straightforward, but trust me, the way he breaks it down is where things get really interesting. Okay, so check this out. These aren't just vague ideas. On one side, you've got mazd or ajr. This is way more than a pat on the back. It's a real, tangible, positive consequence, a recompense for doing good. But on the other side, there's bize or ithma. And this isn't just a simple mistake. It's a literal burden, a real weight that you carry, one that actually creates corruption in the world. For Khosrow, this isn't some abstract cosmic scoreboard. These are real-world forces that actively shape our reality. So what's the decider? What determines if your action earns a reward or a burden? Is it just some random list of rules? Nope, not even close. For Nasser Khosrow, morality is literally woven into the fabric of the universe. It all comes down to one thing. Does your action line up with the Creator's grand design, or does it work against it? The core principle for what is good is salah. Now, this isn't just goodness like being nice. It specifically means any action that actively promotes order, truth, well-being, and prosperity. You can think of it as adding to the harmony of the universe. An act of salah is one that builds up, that unites, that brings things into balance, basically reflecting how the world is supposed to be. And here we have the polar opposite, fasad. This is the force of corruption, of chaos. It's any action that injects evil, lies, division, and decay into the world. It's basically throwing a wrench into the Creator's cosmic machinery. So you see, for Khosrow, whether an act is good or bad isn't a matter of opinion. It's measured by its actual effect on the universal order. And this right here brings us to the most mind-blowing idea in Khosrow's philosophy. He says the consequence of what you do doesn't just stop when the action is over. No way. Every single thing you do has the potential to start a tradition, to set a precedent, creating a ripple effect that can stretch across generations. And you, the person who started it, you are responsible for the entire chain reaction. This is the key that unlocks everything. Khosrow builds his entire argument on this profound saying. I mean, just stop and think about what that means for a second. It's not just about what you did. It's about the example you set. If you create a sunnah hasana, a good tradition, you get the reward for your action, plus you get a share of the reward from every single person who follows your lead forever. And it doesn't diminish their reward one bit. The scale of that responsibility is just immense. Let's just walk through this. Imagine you do something good. Say you start a little garden to share food with your neighbors. That's step one. Then people see what you're doing and they get inspired to start their own. That's step two. Now, you get the reward for your own garden for sure, but here's the incredible part. You also get a continuous reward from all the good that comes from their gardens and from the gardens others started because of them. It's like this exponential legacy of goodness that you sparked. But of course, this is a double-edged sword. This is the sunnah sayyi'ah, the bad tradition. If you normalize a toxic behavior, if you tell a lie that spreads, if you create an unfair system, you carry the burden of your own act. But you also carry a piece of the burden from every single person who copies you. It is a terrifyingly heavy idea of moral responsibility. A single bad choice can multiply its harm across time, and you're on the hook for it. Okay, so we've got this massive, expanding ripple effect of rewards and burdens echoing through history. But where does all that cosmic energy actually end up? Does it just fade away? Nasser Khosrow says no. He brings it all right back home, to you. And this is the final crucial piece of the puzzle. Khosrow caps off his argument with this verse from the Quran. All of that incredible cosmic reward, all of that crushing generational burden, it all returns to its source. It comes back to you. The good you put out into the universe is ultimately a good you are doing for yourself. And the evil you unleash, well, that is a harm that you are ultimately inflicting on yourself. It's the highest form of personal accountability you can imagine. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your support really means a lot and helps me keep creating content for you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, what's so wild is how the 1,000-year-old idea feels so incredibly relevant today. So how does it stack up against some of the big ethical systems from Western philosophy? It is fascinating to see where these completely different traditions overlap and where they part ways. It's like a global conversation about morality that's been happening for centuries. Let's break this chart down. First, Khosrow's idea that your actions ultimately define who you are, that has echoes of Plato's just soul. But here's the key difference. For Khosrow, the standard is aligning with divine will, while for Plato, it was all about achieving rational harmony within yourself. Next up, this idea of setting a good tradition sounds a whole lot like Immanuel Kant's idea that you should only act in a way that you'd want it to be a universal law. But Kant was all about your duty and your intention, whereas Khosrow is laser-focused on the long-term consequences. And finally, this goal of creating goodness, or salah, in the world, it kind of sounds like utilitarianism, which aims to create the greatest happiness for the greatest number. But again, the foundation is different. Khosrow is trying to align with a divine cosmic order, while someone like John Stuart Mill is focused on calculating human happiness. So after exploring this whole philosophy, from the structure of the cosmos to personal responsibility to these echoes across time, it all really boils down to one simple thing. Every one of us right now is setting precedents. Every choice we make, every action, every single word has the potential to be that first drop of water that starts a ripple. And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. What traditions are you establishing with your life? Are your actions contributing to salah, to order and truth and well-being? Or are they maybe unintentionally creating fasad, chaos, and corruption? According to Nasser Khosrow, the answer isn't just in what you do in the moment. It's written in the legacy you are building with every single thing you do.